This is Vader Reviews. We are honored that you would join us. Batman, one of the most prolific and iconic comic book superheroes of all time. A combination of Sherlock Holmes and pulp heroes like Zorro in the Shadow. The Caped Crusader has been depicted in many ways, from the camp of Adam West in the Schumacher films, to the darkness of Tim Burton, downbeat, gritty realism of the Nolan era, and finally the brutal Frank Miller-esque version of the Zack Snyder films. While each have their own merits, none compare to the groundbreaking and influential Batman the Animated Series created by Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski in 1992. Join me as we look back at the best Batman film of all time. Before we begin, this week's video is brought to you by the dynamic duo of Matthew Nicholson and Adam Jordan. The Empire thanks you for your donations last weekend. If you would like to support what we're doing here, donate to our PayPal today so we can continue to bring you weekly videos. And if you're new to the channel, join me, and together we will rule the internet. Now let's discuss Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. Directed by Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski. Released on December 24th, 1993, the film has been ranked among the top 10 superhero films ever made by Time magazine. Due to the success of Batman the Animated Series, Warner Brothers gave the green light for a feature-length project. Originally intended as a direct-to-video film. Late in production, however, the studio increased the budget to $6 million and decided to release The Mask of the Phantasm in theaters that Christmas, because nothing says Christmas cheer and family fun like a dark, gothic tale of loss, betrayal, and murder. But speaking of murder, when crime lords start getting whacked by a weirdo in a cape, everyone rightly assumes the Dark Knight has gone to the dark side, except for Commissioner Gordon, played once again to perfection by Bob Hastings, who also voiced Superboy in the 1950s.
Always wanted to be a hero.
But it ain't the Bat. Nope. I seen the guy. He looks more like the ghost of Christmas future. The film drew heavy inspiration from the Reaper, a character from the 1987 Batman Year 2 miniseries, written by Mike W. Barr. Bruce Timm went through 20 character designs for the Phantasm before he settled on his final version, a grim Reaper-esque figure featuring Azrael's mask. Back to the movie. Things get complicated when Bruce's old flame Andrea Beaumont comes back to Gotham. The filmmakers cite Orson Welles' 1941 classic Citizen Kane as their influence, using flashbacks to tell the story of Bruce's love for Andrea and what led him to become the Batman. Andrea, named after vocal supervisor Andrea Romano, was played with sarcastic charm by Donna Delaney, who ironically enough, since her character is introduced in a graveyard, also starred in Tombstone that same year, alongside future Batman Val Kilmer. Delaney's superb performance would ultimately lead to her being cast as Lois Lane in the 1996 Superman the Animated Series, which is interesting since in the Batman-Superman movie, Lois dates Bruce Wayne, making it the second time Delaney has played Batman's love interest. What can I say? I guess she's Batman's kryptonite. As good old Bats tries to solve the mystery of why the Phantasm is targeting old crime lords, City Councilman Arthur Reeves has mobilized the Gotham PD against the Dark Knight. Fun fact, Hart Buckner, who voiced Reeves, is the son of Lloyd Buckner, who voiced Mayor Hamilton Hill in the animated series. Reeves is also putting the moves on Batsy's old squeeze. But before the clown can meet up with her for dinner, the Joker, played by my son, Luke Skywalker himself, pays him a little visit. Because as it turns out, the Phantasm is taking down Joker's old game. Fun fact number 2. When Joker shoots the robots at the World's Fair, the sound effect of the Millennium Falcon breaking down was used as the machines wind down. Upon the movie's release, Mark Hamill went to a local theater and asked the fans in attendance to have a seat with him, proving once again that he's a pretty wizard guy. The film was completed on a breakneck schedule of 8 months, with less than a year to convert the aspect ratio to widescreen versus theatrical release. But this was not the only problem during production. Paul Dini, who was writing many of the Joker's scenes for the film, was brutally attacked on Lapeer Drive. He was beaten so badly by a pair of muggers, he had to undergo reconstructive surgery on his skull. Due to the violent nature of this attack, he considered giving up working on Batman altogether, and spent several months recovering both physically and emotionally, before ultimately returning to the project. As Batman unravels the mystery of the Phantasm, it leads him to one of his most emotional and chilling confrontations with the Joker, as they battle at the World's Fair, in what was once a bright vision of the future, now abandoned, decaying, and forgotten, symbolizing the hopes and dreams of both Bruce Wayne and everyone else in Gotham, as crime and corruption has eaten away at the very heart of the city. If you haven't seen this film, I highly recommend it. I am being purposely vague on certain plot points, since the storyline is a mystery combined with a tragic love story. But this film shows an emotional depth to Bruce Wayne as a character that we've never seen before. The film deals with themes of loss, revenge, heartache, and loneliness in a mature way that could have easily been filmed in live action. Like the animated series, it is a perfect crystallization of Batman, from the writing and dark visuals to the stellar voice acting by Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, who have remained the best iterations of their characters for the last 28 years since Batman the Animated Series debuted in 1992. The film, like Batman the Animated Series, never speaks down to children, and treats its audience with intelligence and respect. Its dark and serious tone is further elevated by the haunting and emotional film score by composer Shirley Walker, who masterfully scored both Superman and Batman the Animated Series. Mask of the Phantasm is, without a doubt, the best Batman film of all time, with the best Batman theme of all time. Because while Danny Elfman's score for the '89 film is impressive, it borrows note for note from Bernard Herrmann's Journey to the Center of the Earth, and while Hans Zimmer, who played the synthesizer on the score for Mask of the Phantasm, would create his own signature sound for the Dark Knight trilogy, only Shirley Walker's theme combines the power, sadness, and chilling gothic choir in a sweeping emotional film score that is completely one of a kind. A personal favorite among Walker's own compositions, she told Cinemusic.com the Latin lyrics she used in the main choral piece were actually the names of her staff, sung backwards to give them a musical cameo in the film. So for its gripping and emotional storyline, phenomenal voice work by Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and the entire cast, timeless Art Deco aesthetic, and powerful film score by Shirley Walker, I give this film 5 out of 5 Death Stars. Batman Mask of the Phantasm is impressive. Most impressive. This has been Vader Reviews. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, and follow me on Twitter @Vader Reviews. Join the Empire today. You do not yet realize your importance. Share these videos, and together we will rule the internet. And always remember, you don't know the power of the dark side.